Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me in this new episode of Star Trek The Original Series. Okay, so today's turn is for Season 2, Episode 17, A Piece of the Action. This episode had 8 votes in the original list, so it's probably not on the highest voted episodes, but it's certainly somewhere there. And since this episode is a piece of the action, I wondered what is my most actiony t-shirt I have. So there was my Kill Bill t-shirt, but I've already shown that one, so I had to go and steal this one from my boyfriend, but I hope it's approved. For today's episode, I have Yaluk keeping me company today. And for today's snack, I got lemon pie Oreos and a latte. Remember that you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. You can also like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to watch the full reaction, watch along of this episode, uncut, uncensored, no ads. And if you really want to support the Mothership, you can become a Patreon or a YouTube member. I will leave all the links in the description box below. Okay, so let's get this done. Still a lot of noise around my neighborhood. Sorry about that.
They relate us to a man named Oxmix. His title
Oxmix?
is Boss.
Boss? Unfortunately, the Horizon was lost with all hands shortly after leaving your planet. We only received her radio report last month.
Last month? What are you talking about? The Horizon left here 100 years ago.
Difficult to explain. We received a report 100 years late because it was sent by conventional radio. They didn't have subspace communication in those days.
Oh.
Toward the edge of...
Where will be convenient?
Well, there's an intersection just at the end of the block, near a yellow fire plug.
Located, sir. Good.
He's like speaking about a city.
Spock, McCoy, we're beaming down. Standard equipment. Well, we don't know there is contamination. The evidence is only circumstantial.
What was the state
What
of
contamination?
before the Horizon came?
The beginnings of industrialization.
Okay. Said standard equipment, but they're only given communicators. What's the standard equipment for a surgeon? His knowledge? Looks like Earth. Well, it's like Earth from the 40s. It's too dirty, right?
Passers-by are carrying, I believe, firearms.
Well, like gangsters?
Let's see who's petrified.
Is that the
Sir,
welcome
would you mind
committee?
Put your hands over your head. You ain't gonna have no head to put your hands over.
Okay, if you ask nicely, you're okay.
A heater, huh? Hey, the boss will love that. He said some of the boys would meet you. Okay, we're meeting you.
Well, those...
It is the welcome committee. Okay. What?
What's the matter? You guys never saw a hit before?
There are...
Hey, when's the boss gonna do something about the crummy streetlights around here, huh? Girl ain't safe.
Yeah, and how about the laundry pickup? We ain't had a truck by in 3 weeks.
Get lost, will ya?
Bureaucrats. I didn't expect it to be like in a gangster vibe.
Which one of you guys is captain?
Depends.
Oh.
Pick up a cue, Captain. Go ahead.
Does he even know how to play?
Boys. The boss of my territory. I got the biggest in the world. You know, there's...
But there are other bosses, other territories.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's Chicago.
Doesn't...
Does that include, if I may ask, a gentleman called Krakow?
How do you know
Picked
about
one up.
He hit us, boss.
And you did tell him? Of the 20s.
The book. They left it. The other ship, the Horizon.
This is the contamination, Captain. An entire culture based on this.
Okay,
You said-
the Horizon had a book about gangsters, and this culture found the book, and they thought, oh, this is our Bible. Okay, thank goodness they didn't find my grocery lists.
I brought you down here so you could help me, not for you to ask me questions.
Oh,
After that, I'll answer anything. You give me all the heaters I need. Then I'll take over. And all you have to do is deal with me.
Now, let me get this straight. You want us to supply you with arms and assistance.
so that he can rule the
Carry out an
world.
aggra- My orders are quite explicit.
I ain't interested in your orders. From now on, you're gonna take orders from me. I'm gonna give you just 8. If I don't have those tools by then, I'm gonna call up your ship and have them pick you up in a box.
Okay.
This here's a heater.
Oh, no.
All you have to do is give me about 100 of these fancy heaters and...
Oh, yeah, like that.
Hey, you and the chef.
Scott here. Who's this?
Oh.
This is Bella Oxman.
Oh, wait. You're gonna make a mafia, well, not mafia, but a gangster boss try to bargain with Scotty? I want to see this so badly.
I'm going to give you just 8 hours to get me the goods I want, or I put the hit on your friends. You understand?
I don't know.
Not the reaction I expected.
Check the language banks and find out what a...
Heater?
is.
Fortunately, I do not have access to my computers, nor are these gentlemen likely to permit it.
On Beta Antares 4, they play a real game. It's a man's game, but of course, probably a little beyond you.
Last episode, he was poking on the provider's ego, like, oh, you're not betting the real stuff. Like, you are not really, the stakes are really low and whatnot. And now he's poking on this guy's ego and they're gaming. Like, there's a thing with gaming around here. Anyway.
I can play anything you can figure out. Show us how it's played.
I'm
Sparring.
I don't know of any
Sparring.
game.
Shut up.
The name of the game is called Fizbin.
Fizbin.
Fizbin. It's
Fizbin.
not too difficult.
The second card is turned up, except on Tuesdays.
On Tuesday.
What?
No, if you got another jack, why, you'd have a shrunk.
I shrunk.
Yes, you'd be disqualified. Is either a king and a deuce, except at night, of course, when you date a queen and
And I need a drink. Stop.
Right. You'd get another card, except when it's dark, when you'd have to give it back.
If it were dark on Tuesday.
Yes, but what you're after is a royal Fizbin. But the odds in getting a royal Fizbin are... What are the odds in getting a royal Fizbin?
I've never computed them, Captain.
Well, they're astronomical, believe me.
Oh, I'll get it.
Of course. That was easy.
Uhura's monitoring the broadcasts. Cut in and have yourselves beamed up to the ship.
Oh, that's clever.
I will, but I'm bringing Bella Oxmix with me.
Plus, he has the phaser and the comm. A pinball machine. That looks like the alley in the City of the Edge Forever.
This could either be a taxi or a hearse. You know what I mean?
I'm beginning to...
They found the radio station so quickly. Well, she took a while. Some other just go like this.
Throw this switch, and the Enterprise should answer.
That was the Jailbreakers, brought to you by Bang Bang, the makers of the sweetest little automatic in the world.
Bang Bang, it's a little automatic.
Enterprise, this is Mr. Spock.
Lieutenant Uhura here. Mr. Spock.
Look at that.
Mr. Spock, what are you doing on this frequency?
How did you catch it so fast? Jojo Krakow? Sounds like territory. I love that. Are you kidding me? What?
So you're the Fed, huh? Well. You can't make a date with a broad unless I know about it.
Why is it that they always have to have the mommy sitting on the desk? I should have a mommy also here.
Let me guess. You want...
The heaters.
You want heaters. And then you'll attack the other bosses and take over the whole planet. Then we'll sit down and talk, right?
Wrong. I know Bella. He didn't offer you beans.
Actually, he didn't.
You watch it, Kirk. The book tells us how to handle things.
Ah, the book.
Mr. Krakow, I just think your behavior is arrested.
I've never been arrested my whole life. Now listen, Pally. Tell Cyril the Knife to sharpen up his blade. I just might have a job for him.
He's got 2 men with guns, and he's gonna go call somebody else to finish him? What is he trying to do? What is that? I don't get what he's doing.
Mr. Oxmix is making contact from the surface.
On audio, Lieutenant.
Well, I mean, Kirk just escaped.
Huh? Hey, how'd you get back up there?
Irrelevant, since we are here.
Yeah. I tell you better come.
I'm afraid I find it difficult to trust you, Mr. Oxmix.
What's to I'm a businessman, Pally. What do you say?
I wouldn't trust him.
Since we mean you're gonna trust him?
Of course not.
Help me! Help! Help me!
The stupid hat! But they're obviously gonna trap them, right? Told you, you can't trust him. What was the point of them going back to the ship? Like, did they achieve something going back to the ship? No, this whole scene where they went to the radio station and knocked this woman out and they went back up, so far seems to be useless. So I'll probably have to be erasing this comment. But still, what was the point of sending them back if they were going to go back in without doing anything of benefit in the ship?
After old Earth gangsters.
They took their everything away.
Nobody helps nobody but himself.
You are employing a double negative.
Huh? The most cooperative man in this world is a dead man. And if you don't keep your mouth shut, you're going to be cooperating.
Off the guns. Drop 'em.
Okay, just in time.
Did you find out anything from the computer?
Nothing useful. Logic and practical information do not seem to apply here.
So they went up to the computer and still got nothing.
Then you don't mind if I play a hunch.
This is the second time I hear about hunches. Again, past episode was a hunch from Spock. And now it's Kirk's. So.
I'm gonna put the bag on Krakow. Say, that's nice material.
It ought to be. It cost a bundle.
Get out of them.
Hey.
He's gonna dress like a gangster? Oh my god! Ah, they look awesome! I want them to sing Smooth Criminal so badly!
Turn the ignition on. And nothing happens. Where's the starter? Yeah.
Okay.
Gears.
I believe they had a device known as a
clutch. Yeah.
Perhaps.
I mean, you gotta hand it to them. Just like, driving standard is not so easy, especially like you cannot start doing it right away. It's a very steep learning curve. Like, very steep, okay? This one was solved rather quickly, but I'm still gonna give it to them. They gave me a really good laugh. Please tell me he just moved for 5 blocks, because that would have been really annoying.
You are an excellent starship commander.
You're a lousy driver.
Taxi drive. You leave much to be desired.
It was that bad.
Yes! Oh my goodness.
You don't look like the trusting type.
Don't tell me they went through this street with that car doing all that noise and all that ruckus, and they didn't go check on them, but they did check on the woman with the little stroller. Come on.
It's a hit, ain't it?
I beg your pardon.
You're gonna hit somebody. Can I watch?
Even the child gets it.
Out of the mouth of babes.
Who are you calling a babe?
I'm calling you a babe.
You calling me a babe?
Yeah, I'm calling you a babe, but there's nothing personal. Sit down. You know a way we could get...
What's in it for me?
What do you want?
A piece of the action.
You do not even know what the action is going to be.
Exactly.
I figure it's gotta be a thick percentage, or you wouldn't be trying to hit Krakow.
Logic.
That kid is sharp. I mean, I see a kid holding a knife on the street and I'll be running for my life.
That's it, let's go.
They see this kid all the time and they don't know who his daddy is. I love the eyes on that guy. That guy's expression is exactly how I imagine it feels being stunned by his touch.
Put your phaser on stun.
Okay, I gotta ask this. Did they really wear this kind of fur hats back in the 40s? I have to say, also, Leonard Nimoy wearing a brown suit red tie with little blue polka dots. Hot. He looks really good on that suit. And I thought I would never see a man that can rock a brown suit except for Chris Pratt, but look at him. There he goes.
Put down your heaters.
I just heard the sound of...
The sound of a machine gun bolt being pulled back.
Here in Mexico, we call it cortar cartucho, mijo.
Of course I can.
Well, one of these can make a man a pretty big boss, you know.
I either trust them or they're dead.
Peanuts to an outfit like the Federation, right?
Unquestionably.
Right.
Right.
We're taking over. They maybe we'll cut you in for a piece of the action.
A minuscule, a very small piece.
How much is that? No interference.
Who's interfering? We're taking over. Check.
Right.
We help one guy take over the planet, he pulls the strings, and then we pull his. Hey, you. Sit down.
Oh, please do. Try not to look too comfortable, Spock.
All right, Scotty. We made a deal with Krakow. Scotty, I'd like to show him the ship.
Oh, he's gonna kidnap him.
You know how it is.
They already got him. He's getting the tour.
Looks like we put the bag on you, doesn't it?
I got rights!
You got nothing. You mind your place, mister, or you'll be wearing concrete galoshes.
Mean cement overshoes?
Aye.
Are you afraid of cars?
Not at all, Captain. It's your
I'm afraid of you.
Spock,
yes.
Hang on, now go on.
Okay, no.
Oh, not again.
You get knocked out often?
We're gonna hit his place.
Knock it off, Sawbones.
Sawbones.
A penny ante operator.
You're a penny ante operator. Sit down.
Penny ante operator? Oh.
You don't, you're out. All the way out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Why didn't you say so in the first place? All you had to do was explain it to me.
Had to speak their language.
Okay, baby, cool him until I flag you.
Flag me?
Call you.
Keep him there until I send for him. Locate the man on the other end of the blower and give him a ride to this flop.
What?
Just say yes.
Can do, Captain. Standing by.
Now you.
Now they have to talk about it face to face.
Mother!
Mother. Oh, honey, I think she's been long gone now.
Hey, Captain, that ain't bad.
Yeah.
I would advise you to keep dialing, Oxmix.
Spock got the hang of it right away.
We hit Bella's place and nobody comes out alive. All right, let's go.
I mean, in all honesty, it was a great place to get them all in one sitting.
From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear a lot of talk, but all I see here is you and a couple of your boys. I don't see no federation.
Listen! I only saw 3 guys in that ship.
Oh.
Maybe there ain't no more. That's your story, Buster.
Oh, man. Now these guys are getting there. No!
Hey, it's my boys. They're making a hit at this place.
Wait, how do you know it's your boys? Like, do you recognize the weapon sound? Okay.
Hey, that's great, Krakow. Now we got hostages again.
I'm gonna be the big boss in this here territory.
They were never gonna work together.
Wait a minute. Get that heater down. Don't you want to take a look at what you're going to fight? All right, but at least let me call my ship one last time and say goodbye.
Well, all right. Go ahead. Don't get smart.
Scotty, put the ship's phasers on stun. Fire a burst in a 1-block radius around these coordinates.
Oh, he's gonna stun everyone. not about how many men you have, which is the way that these guys calculate their force, but it's not about how much you can threat. It's what you can't see, what you should be scared of.
They're not dead, just knocked out for a while. But they might just as well have been that way if we wanted them to.
Okay, Kirk, so we get the message. Now, there's too many bosses. We can't get anything done. Maybe somebody like you is the top boss? Then we can get things done.
Hey, Bella. Oh, Federation can't get connected with a small-time operation like this. Now, I was thinking, Bella, I think 40% sufficient. Yeah. Reasonable, Mr. Oxmix. Let's break out some of your drinking stuff. Gentlemen, you two have been brooding ever since we returned to the ship.
Brooding, Captain? I'm also curious as to how you propose to explain to Starfleet Command that a starship will be sent each year to collect our cut.
Good point.
I propose that our cut be put into the planetary treasury. They'll be forced to accept conventional responsibilities. Isn't that logical?
I left my communicator.
In Bella's office?
Oh.
Captain.
Serious, Bones. It upsets the whole percentage.
How do you mean?
Well, in a few years, the Iosians may demand a piece of our action.
Okay. So, a piece of the action. Well, I think, the name stays. It fits really well, considering this is like a gangster episode. I enjoyed it. It was a completely different flavor of an episode. It's like the accent that they use, this very Italian type of speaking, very, very much of those, gangster movies that we used to watch in the past. It's kind of funny to see that this episode was, in the 60s, and they are just portraying as, this time, 30, 25 years before them. And it's like a very iconic, part of American history. So I really enjoyed it. It's funny to see how the planet got contaminated by this book. It's also funny to see how the contamination started by using this book, and then they had the book like a person will hold a Bible in their house. But it's about bosses and all this, and this is how they thought their lives had to be. It is kind of concerning that they would leave this kind of culture still reigning themselves. Are they used to be subjected to a higher authority? In this case, the feds, as they are going to call them. Can you trust them, really? I mean, they certainly had some reasons, but they already showed you that you cannot trust them. And in the end, it was all about the cut, not getting a piece of not getting a cut. And I mean, that ending was quite funny. But then, the fact that McCoy left the communicator is something that you should be worried about, because they can just reverse technology that thing. And, in less than 20 years, you're going to get really, really into deep problems. I love the way that Spock rocked that suit. I liked it better than Kirk's suit. And it's kind of funny trying to make him fit the way that they speak and understanding their slang and, all of these phrases and jargon that Kirk was using, trying to make him like, you get the gist? And Spock trying to follow along with this charade. It was very fun to see it. Everyone was trying to follow the charade as well. I would have loved to see Uhura maybe rocking one of those 40s dresses, to have her involved somehow. But in all, this was a very fun episode. And again, it's always about using one's wits to solve this situation. In this case, Kirk again did it with lots of success. And it was a very nice episode. I'm pretty sure when I edit this and I watch it again, I'm going to find a lot of plot holes, maybe some things that don't add up, but it's okay. I mean, in all honesty, I really like the way that this was made. I see that names were different, and this is probably the reason why this episode felt so different. It was nice to see Earth again in, times from before. We already saw the 30s with the City of the Edge Forever. We saw a little bit of the Earth of the 60s back in Tomorrow is Yesterday. We saw an Earth-like planet in Miri and the Return of the Archons. This time is another Earth-like type of planet, but still following the same steps as human history. I'm not against it, okay? It's fun. It gives it a different flavor. It makes you see different aspects of our favorite characters. So, it's fun. I liked it. Okay, so now I am going to react to some curiosity from the IMDb page. Okay, so this is the only time on the original series in which the Enterprise's phasers are used to stun and not to kill, destroy, or damage. It is also the only time the Enterprise's phasers are used for a wide proximity shot, as in this case when they are set to blanket a one city block area around a center point in order to stun a dispersed group of people. Yeah, I thought they were gonna stun everyone around and it was just 2 specific points. After filming Wrap, the studio received a letter from Anthony Caruso, who played Bella Oxmix. It was a letter from Oxmix thanking the crew of the Enterprise for creating the Syndicate, and things were proceeding nicely on Sigma Iota 2. As he goes on in the letter, it is now the 1950s and he is sporting a crew cut. He was also mentioned wanting to visit Las Vegas, remarking, "It seems like my kind of town." James Doohan provided the voice of the radio announcer. Nice. Marvel Comics published a sequel story to this as part of their Star Trek Unlimited series. The story, A Piece of the Reaction, featured the crew of the USS Enterprise E from Star Trek First Contact returning to the planet to discover that its society had gone on to model itself after 23rd century Starfleet thanks to the communicator that McCoy left behind. Okay, so they did reverse engineer it. The planet is now led by the tough kid Kirk, and Spock met in the street, who wishes to hijack the Enterprise E and finally gain command of a starship, just like his idol James T. Kirk. Okay. Kirk makes up the rules of the card game Fizbin as he goes along. No kidding. William Shatner ad-libbed the rules, so his pauses to think and the other actors' confusion are all genuine. This is the only episode of the original series that ends with a freeze frame. Oh yeah, it did end with a freeze frame, yeah. One of the several parallel Earth plots in the series contrived in part to save money by avoiding the necessity for alien sets, costumes, and makeup. Yeah, well, not complaining about that one. John Harmon previously appeared in the City of the Edge of Forever as the bum rodent. He had also appeared 20 years earlier in Fear in the Night, which starred DeForest Kelley. Okay. The last script credited to the series writer-producer Gene L. Kuhn. Okay, yeah, I saw his name. He would, however, contribute 2 more scripts to the 3rd season, but these were under the pseudonym of Lee Cronin. Okay. So, not the last. This is the only episode in which Kirk calls McCoy Sawbones instead of Bones. The script originally featured Romulans with whom Kirk has to compete in making a deal with the Iodians? Those guys? Would have been kind of weird to see the Romulans and then see him behaving like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That would have been kind of weird. This episode contains Chekhov's smallest speaking part in the original series, with only 1 line of dialogue, approaching Sigma Iota 2, Captain. Yeah. Oh, the exteriors were destroyed or severely damaged during the 1983 backlot fire. That's sad. This episode is listed as one of the 10 essential episodes of the original series in the 2008 reference book Star Trek 101 by Paula M. Blanc. Okay. I didn't know there was this book. Okay, so every man was carrying a Thompson self-machine gun. Oh, wow. The big metal cans under the barrels are magazines holding 100 rounds of 45 ACP ammo, enough firepower to cut a Cadillac in half. Wow. The 4 Vulcan neck pinches are a record for any Star Trek franchise episode. And yeah, it was 2 men, the radio worker, and who else? But yeah, I saw a lot of those pinches. Not complaining again, though. Well, I see that they speak a lot about Sigma Iota 2 in later episodes from later series. So I guess for, those knowledgeable Star Trek fans will, get, the Sigma Iota, right away. How do you get their inhabitants? Iodians? Iodians? How do you call them? Okay, so I think I've already said enough about this episode. I really enjoyed it. It, like I said, it's so different. I wish I had something resembling that era. I only have one of those little tool kind of hats, but too late. I thought it was going to be this kind of action. It wasn't. It was a different, but just as equally fun type of action. Anyway, thank you for joining me in this episode. I'll see you in the next one. God bless and bye-bye.